Jenny Holzer's art career began during the feminist art movement of the 1960s to 1980s. This era witnessed a transformation in the role of women, who were often confined to domestic tasks like cooking, sewing, and crafting as part of their homemaking duties. These crafts were frequently seen as mere hobbies, rather than serious artistic pursuits. Women began to reclaim craft art as a form of artistic expression and a means of asserting their independence and creativity. They rejected the notion that these crafts were solely for domestic use and instead transformed them into powerful tools for self-expression and social commentary. Holzer got her master's degree of fine arts in 1977 at Rhode Island School of Design in New York, but roughly 7 years before this, she was a student of print art for 2 semesters. I'm mentioning this because she drew inspiration from graphic design, as her art merely consists of typography. Her art itself is not graphic design though. In the late 1970s, she began her unique art journey by anonymously hanging street posters throughout Manhattan, which featured her truisms. Truisms, as Holzer termed them, are concise poetic statements which delve into the intricate layers of culture, dissecting common perception, and exploring how media, politics, and prejudice shape our world. Her truisms also touched on themes such as the female experience, power dynamics, culture, gender, class, mass media, corruption, and capitalism. Therefore, her art remains relevant even today, 50 years later, as we still experience those same societal issues. Holzer's art reaches a diverse audience, inviting emotional reactions and introspection. Her truisms encompass both the artist and the reader equally, as individuals interpret her words through the lens of their own experience. This inclusive approach resonates with a broad audience. One reason also is that truisms not only reflect on societal concerns, but also on themes of love and inner struggle. In 1979, Holzer created the inflammatory essays, which she displayed on walls. These essays, while characterized by their vivid colors, contained deep, thought-provoking, and at times even angry content, creating a striking contrast. In 1982, Holzer took her truisms to billboards in New York's Times Square, pushing the boundaries of the art world into public spaces heavily saturated with advertising. Amidst a constant flood of visual stimuli, her work stood out as people realized they aren't being presented with yet another product campaign, but thought-provoking art, leading the New York Times to describe her as an old preacher spreading her gospel with an advertiser's skill at public presentation. Holzer later ventured into LED art, enabling her to program moving text. She likened this dynamic text to language and used colors to highlight words and pauses to punctuate her message. She expanded her repertoire to include projections, inventing a new kind of street art. Her artistic exploration has also encompassed various other mediums such as paintings, photography, sculptures, and unconventional canvases like movie marquees and condoms. The cultural significance of her work was such that it transcended traditional art forms, resulting in the creation of shirts and merchandise with her truisms. In 2018, Holzer's art took center stage at Blenheim Palace, where she explored the aftermath of war. Texts sourced from UK veterans and refugee writers projected onto the palace created a profoundly impactful and emotionally charged experience. In summary, Jenny Holzer's art, characterized by its reliance on typography, offers social commentary within the public sphere. Her work invites to reflect our wrongs as humanity and to consider what we have made so far, and to figure out what we want our future to be.